Okay, so last time we had discussed the bias and prejudice, and then we have given you additional activity for a maximum retention and mastery of bias and prejudice. Now, we will be now moving forward to our next lesson, which has something to do with the argumentative or persuasive text. Okay, so this is extracting important information from argumentative or persuasive text. First, okay, so read the text below and find out if the claim made is convincing or not. Okay, so in this kind of what I call this one is this kind of text. Okay, do you think the claim of the writer is strong? I am giving you a minute for you to find out. Okay, do you think that the claim of the writer in this text is strong enough? For the newcomers again, attendance link, that's a chat box. Then why or why not? Sa tingin ninyo, okay, so matibay ba yung claim ng writer dito? So in this particular text, so you can notice upon reading the this particular text, okay, you can notice that the claim here was backed up by citing that WHO or the WHO, Philippines, WHO Philippines yan, thereby weakening the points of the claim that SUOB, not AETOB. Okay, SUOB can be used against COVID-19. Okay, so meaning, okay, so there is a weakening points, hindi ganun ka-strong, okay, yung claim, okay, of in this text, because there is a counter argument here, which is saying a facts or an evidence na nagsasabi that the WHO Philippines, okay, tawag dito, hindi nila sinasuggest that a SUOB can be used against COVID-19. Okay, so kaya hindi ganun ka convincing or ka strong yung claim in this particular text. Okay, so a reading material like this is an example of an argumentative text. Okay, so ganito yung example ng argumentative text natin. So ano nga ba yung argumentative text? Let us first define what argumentative text is. Okay, so would you mind to read what is the meaning or the definition of an argumentative text? Kindly read, Ray.
Argumentative text is used when you are arguing for or against a claim, or when you are trying to persuade someone to agree with your point of view. It does not just present information but also show the pros and cons of an issue.
Okay, so when you say argumentative text, from the word itself, argue, okay, an argument. Okay, you're arguing for against, okay, or for against or a claim, or when you are trying to persuade someone to agree with you. Okay, so hindi lang po siya pagpe-present ng information, but also it shows pros and cons, meaning both sides. Okay, the advantage tsaka disadvantages of a particular issue must be shown in the argumentative text. Okay, not just the side of view. Diba, there is a point of view na tinatawag din nating contention. Later on, makikita nyo. Now, the contention of a particular writer, okay, hindi lang yun present into an argumentative text, but also you are going to cite the other arguments. Okay, and then of course, you are going to disprove the other arguments in order for you not to in order for the reader not to agree with you. Okay, kasi once na ma-rebut mo, kumbaga, okay, yung isang argument ng other people, of course, hindi naman kasi lahat sumasang-ayon sa'yo, di ba? Okay, so there will be needing for a counter-argument. Now later on, malalaman natin kung ano-ano pa yung mga terminologies na yun. So thus, most of the time, an argumentative paragraph is alternatively called a persuasive paragraph. Okay, kasi nga we try to convince, okay, in an argumentative text. Okay, so kaya persuasive din siya. So when we say persuasive paragraph naman, it tries to convince the reader that a particular point of view is worthy of consideration. Now, it wants you to consider both sides of an issue. Again, both sides. Okay, not just one side. Okay? So, but it reveals a bias in favor of one side over another. Kaya para lang tayong gumagawa ng isang position paper. Kaya kung saan, no, tawag dito, about a particular issue, okay, you must stand. Okay, magkaroon ka dapat ng stand mo. Okay, let's say for example, about the death penalty. No, you are pro or anti. Okay, let's say for example that you are anti. But first, no, on the body of the paragraph, you must first include na pati yung pro. Okay, so kailangan meron the argument sila doon. And you are going to disprove that no, para mas maging convincing no, yung paper mo. Kaya natin sinasama yung both sides, okay, not just the side of ours. So facts may be presented in support of a position, but the writer is not being objective. The point of view is subjective. In extracting information from an argumentative text, you must first be able not to know okay, the issue and the supporting and opposing opinions about the issue. So therefore, you must be familiar with the parts of an argumentative text. Ano nga ba yung parts ng argumentative text? So these are the parts of an argumentative text. Simply introduction, body, rebuttal, and conclusion. Okay, so those are the parts of argumentative text. Okay, but before that, now let's take a look first on this example, now which the steps in argumentative writing. As simple as this. First one, make a claim. Okay, know your stand. Okay, know your position. Then support your claim with reasons or evidences. Okay, there must be evidences always. Okay, so how can you persuade other person if lahat lang yun is your opinion? Okay, so there must be facts and evidences. Acknowledge the counterclaim. Ito yung sinasabi ko. Okay, so kung pro ka, there will be cons. Okay, di ba? Kung anti ka, rather, there will be pro. Okay, so acknowledge mo rin sila and then kindly refute no, those statements. So disprove that para mas mapatunayan mo. Okay, ito yan yung refutation, no, yung refutal ng counterclaim. Okay, then conclude with a strong no, statement. Okay, so example here below is given. Okay, so color-coded naman yan. Okay, so yung the yellow one is for the claim, then as follows na yung steps na in argumentative writing. Na pinasimple lang dyan, no, pero ganyan yung mga steps. So going back to the parts of the argumentative text, meron tayong introduction, body, rebuttal, and conclusion. So later on, may mga underlying pa yung terminologies. No? We will be discovering that one too. First, of course, so alam nyo naman na, no, introduction. Okay, so introduction should engage the readers by using a hook, which is a sentence that captures readers' attention. Lagi naman, okay, in an essay, no, in the argumentative text, in any text siguro, no, kailangan laging may hook. Okay, so from the word itself, hook, dapat ma-hook ang atensyon ng reader. Okay, especially kapag ang binabasa is tawag dito, is a lengthy one. Okay, kung napakahaba ng binabasa. Okay, dapat sa introduction pa lang, okay, the hook itself no, must be interesting. Okay, for the reader to continue reading. Kasi in the first place, kung hindi tawag dito, hindi maka-capture no, ng attention ng reader no, ng text mo, then hindi na niya ipagpapatuloy yung pagbabasa niya. Okay, that's why, kasi introduction, no, the hook first should be engaging. And then contains the thesis statement at the last sentence, which is a clearly worded statement telling readers exactly what the writer intends to do in the essay. So yung thesis statement, okay, I don't know if you're a bit familiar with what thesis statement is. Okay, pero napagdaanan nyo naman na siguro yan in the other year of yours. Okay, so thesis statement yung parang the general main idea of the whole paper. Okay, so ba meron tayong main idea per paragraph. Okay, the topic sentence. Okay, but as a whole, meron din tayong thesis statement. Okay, so on that thesis statement of yours, okay, nakalagay din doon yung position mo. Okay, on a particular issue. Kung pro ka ba or anti no, of something. So, okay, so alam na agad ng reader kung ano yung babasahin niya and what side are you into. Okay, so that is the thesis statement, not a general main idea no, ng inyong buong paper. Not the paragraph, not by paragraph, kasi meron talagang main idea per paragraph. Next is the body. Okay, the body contains paragraphs of supporting details, evidences such as articles, studies, and statistics. No, at yung sinasabi ko kanina. Okay, the paper of yours, no, argumentatively, okay, it would not suffice if only opinions, okay, will be given. Okay, there must be supporting details. Okay, those evidences, facts, articles, no, studies, and statistics in order for you to convince the reader. Okay, di ba nga persuasive to? Okay, so kailangan natin ng mga bagay na yun, not just a contention or yung tinatawag nating opinion lang. Explains why the evidence are worthwhile. Okay, so dito magkakaroon tayo ng explanation. So later malalaman yung tawag dyan, may tawag dyan which is the warranty. Okay, each body paragraph should begin with a topic sentence which clearly states the purpose of the paragraph. Okay, so ganoon naman sa paggawa ng essay din naman natin, di ba? There must be topic sentence in each paragraph para hindi siya labo-labo. Okay, each paragraph may topic sentence para hindi nagsasama-sama yung idea into a singular, no, into a single paragraph. Okay, magkakaiba yun. Okay, and then of course there will be supporting details not to support the topic sentence. Next is the rebuttal. Okay, so naririnig naman natin yung rebuttal. So rebuttal contains paragraphs of objections or opposing views about the claim. Okay, explains and proves why a counter-argument is wrong. Sums up problems with the counter-argument. Okay, so in a argumentative text, di ba, sabi nga, we should acknowledge the counter-argument. Okay, so ano yung counter-argument? Of course, the opposing one. Kung pro ka, syempre there will be anti. Okay, so acknowledge mo muna yon, yung counter-argument na yon, and then prove on your paper that they are wrong. No, that particular counter-argument is wrong. Okay, para mas malakas yung claim mo no, once the reader read your argumentative text. And then lastly, the conclusion. No, there is always a conclusion. Conclusion restates the main points, leaves a strong impression on the reader by ending on a clinching statement. Okay, not to the extent na iulitin mo lahat ng sinabi mo, no? From the introduction to the body. Okay, you're just going to restate the main points of yours. Okay, so hindi naman kailangan napakahaba. Okay, and also, of course, end your conclusion now with a strong statement. Okay, of course, yung stand, okay, on a particular issue. Okay, wag yung float sub. Okay, you must have your side. Okay, so pagdating sa argumentative text. So therefore, in extracting information from an argumentative text or paragraph, okay, so meron tayo tinatawag na mga, ito. Okay, wait lang. Okay, sa pag-extract ng information sa argumentative text, okay, we should look for the following: claim or argument, data or evidences, warrant, and counter-argument, and also rebuttal. Okay, so balik tayo. Okay, first is the claim o yung tinatawag nating argument. Okay, when we say the claim, this states the position in relation to the topic. Okay, ito yung position mo in a particular issue. Okay, are you agree, disagree, are you anti, or are you pro? Okay, so but we are not saying directly no, on the argumentative text that I am anti or I am pro, that I am disagreeing or I am agreeing. Okay, so there is some way for you okay, to write if you are anti or pro. Let's say, for example, there is no evidence up to the present time that can attest the efficacy of this inhalation practice in relation to COVID-19. Okay, what do you think is the side of the writer in this one? No, pagdating doon sa suo. Okay, is he agree or disagree pagdating sa suo? By means of writing, by means of reading this example. Agree ba siya or hindi? So opposing siya, di ba? Okay, but without directly saying that I am opposing, I am disagreeing. Kaya hindi naman natin kailangan gamitin yung mga words na yun. No, in order for the reader to see, no, or to comprehend if you are agreeing or disagreeing for something. Okay, para sa kanya, walang evidence pa up to the present time. Kaya para sa kanya, yung efficacy ng inhalation practice, which is the SUOB, in relation to COVID-19 is tawag dito is still needs no to be studied. Okay, so para sa kanya, yun yung tinatawag nating claim or argument. Okay, the stand no of the writer. Next are the data or evidences. Okay, so perhaps no need elaboration. Now evidences as is yun, evidence. Okay, so this support the claim with a fact, statistic, quote, percentage, etc. Na insight where that information came from. Okay, let's say for example, dun sa kanina, the WHO Philippines said that hot stream can be harmful because of the risk of getting burn injury. WHO also said that science and evidence must be sought in fighting COVID-19 variants. There is no recommended treatment or vaccine for COVID-19 yet. People must avoid self-medicating and using unverified treatments to patients with COVID-19. Okay, so those are the data na nagsusupport dun sa claim niya. Okay, di ba ang claim niya, di ba, there is no evidences na nakakatulong yung steaming na yun or the suop. Okay, so and then in additional, the evidences is supporting his or her claim, okay, by means of these examples. Okay, so ganun din tayo dapat when it comes to an argumentative text. Okay, so hindi lang pa pwedeng dahil lang sa opinion natin yun. Okay, but still, we should look for a facts, research for a facts, statistics, okay, etc. or studies. Before we go to the warrant tsaka counter argument and rebuttal, okay, I will be showing video here, and then you're just going to identify, okay, if what is the claim presented and what are the data or evidences presented in this short video. Okay, so for a while, kindly watch this video. Then at the end, later on, okay, try to find out kung ano yung claim ng writer, kung ano yung claim ng speaker at saka ano yung mga evidences presented.
One of the things I'm interested in is how songs can help people experience themselves in a different way or catch themselves in habits that are no longer productive. And I tampered with the national anthem. I'd like to share that with you. So this is an illegal act which we all share. So we now have a special bond. Okay, illegal. Pakisara ng pintuan, pare. You remember your first day in school? Nalala niyo pa first day in school? New shoes, new socks, new pants, new skirt, new blouse, new patch, bagong ligo, bagong linis ang kuko, bagong sipilyo, bagong gupit, lahat bago. Bagong bag, bagong notebook, bagong lapis, amoy Mongol sa labas. Remember the smell of the pencil? Wow, pare, lapis, pare. Diba? Tapos may Crayola pa. Sundutin mo ng Crayola, pare. Ayos, lakas ng tama. Crayola, di ba? Tapos bagong lahat, a new sky, new birds, new life. Tapos ipila ka sa harap ng flag. Tapos mamamatay ka. Di ba? Ang mamatay ng... Talagay ko may grave psychological damage ginagawa yung kantang yan sa atin. Kaya pag gumagraduate ang tao, gusto niya mag-abroad. Kasi ang implicit belief is kung dito ka, tepok ka, killed ka. No? Okay, so, and isa pa, it's a march. So, ang Pilipinas, hindi naman makamarcha. We're not a 1, 2, 3, 4 people. We are a swaying. Malalambot tayo. Mga bading tayong lahat. Even our martial arts. Ano tayo? Paikot tayo. We're very accommodating and very non-confrontational. Tapos yung ating music, yung Ang Bayan Kong Pilipinas. Yung kundi man, 6 ang metro niyan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what if gawin natin ganun yung lupang hinirang? 6. Tapos ayusin natin yung mispronunciations. We've been singing this song for years and nobody has really bothered to edit like a songwriter would. So ito yung aking exercise as a songwriter. I want to... Sa dagat at bundok, parang maling dagatat, di ba? Dagatat. Hindi maintindihan ng mga bata yan. Sa simuyat, naku, isa pa yun. Sa simuyat, langit mong bughaw, may dilagang tula. Ano yung ulam? Dilagang tula. At awit sa paglayang mina. Tapos meron pang tagumpay. Oh, mali yan, di ba? Tagumpay dapat yan. Ang kisla ng tagumpay, di ba? So gusto ko ituro sa inyo yung possibly the correct way. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Di ba? Make sense, di ba? Make sense. Tapos yung ending, ang mamatay, ang dami naman pwedeng positibong gawin, di ba? Ang magpayaman ng dahil sa'yo, di ba? Ang magpayaman ng dahil sa'yo, ang magpinta ang sumayaw ang mag-aral, ang dami naman pwede, di ba? Yung general purpose na positive, yung magmahal. Ang magmahal, di ba? Love your enemies. Pag may mga api, mahalin mo. Dapat ito yung kanta kay Pacquiao pag may laban. Ang magmahal Tapos may bagong ritual. After you sing the last line, you hug the people next to you. Oh, di ba? Practicean nga natin yan. Ang magmahal ng dahil sa'yo. Group hug! Feel free. Okay. At subukan natin yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 na lupang hinirang. Tapos sabayan nyo, subukan nyo. You'll never sing the national anthem the same way again. Because you don't really want to die, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bayang magiging telas ng silanganan, alat ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiging sa manlulutig, sa pasisihil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, ay dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang magmahal ng dahil sa'yo. Group hug!
Okay. So with the video that you have watched, so what do you think is the claim or the argument of the speaker like I presented? What do you think? You can chat it in the chat box if you want. What do you think is the claim or argument presented by the speaker? He would like to what? Yeah, basically, as a general term, he would like to change the national anthem or to revise the lyrics as well as the tone of the national anthem. Okay, then what are the data or evidences? Okay, shown by Mr. Joey Ayala, which is the speaker. Ano yung mga data or evidences na sinabi niya, okay, regarding the issue or the claim na meron siya? Can you name something or can you name a few? Ano yung mga nabanggit niya? Diba, there is some mispronunciations. Okay, so sinate niya yun. He also cited the Kundiman as preference of the Filipino music, kung saan daw ang sukat is sa is, no, ang metro. He also compared it to ang bayan ko. And also he cited that we are not a marching people, that we are more on a swaying people. Okay, so just like that, okay, he had presented those evidences, no, to support his or her claim. Okay, so ganun din sa ating mga argumentative texts. Again, sa mga di pa nakapag-attendance link sa chat box. Okay, so I think alam niyo na kung paano mag-identify ng claim, argument at evidences. Next, jump tayo kay warrant. Can we say warrant? This explains why or how the evidence or data support the claim, not the warrant of arrest. It is typically 2 to 3 sentences in length. Okay, so i-explain nito kung ano yung relevant ng evidence dun sa claim mo. Okay, this is just justification, a synthesis, kumbaga, an explanation okay, of the supporting detail or the evidences to your claim, okay, or to your stand. So that is what we call a warrant. Next is the counter argument. So kanina pa naman ito pinag-uusapan. Counter arguments, this states a logical counterclaim. It uses language to show that there is conflicting viewpoint. Okay, so ang mga signal na mayroong counter argument are these transitional words such as although, even though, no, despite, however, in contrast, in contradictory, okay, etc. Okay, example nito is employees in Cebu provincial government were instructed to do steam inhalation twice a day at their own workplaces as part of their wellness program and became their means not to battle COVID-19. Okay, so we are talking about the suob dito kanina, di ba? So kanina dun sa claim, the WHO says that no, it is not effective. Okay, but ito yung counter argument. Okay, merong mga gumagamit. And then of course, no, you must cite evidences to disprove no, this counter argument. Okay, para mas paniwalaan yung argument mo. Okay, so ganun po siya. Next is the rebuttal. Nasabi na rin naman ito kanina. This presents data and analysis to discredit or prove the counterclaim. Okay, that is to rebut some points or to refute no points no in the opposing one. Then conclusion statement. Ano dito yung tinatawag na conclusion statement? It restates or summarizes the main points. Yung conclusion din yan. Okay, yung kaninang binanggit natin. So on the other hand, in analyzing persuasive text, kailangan natin i-identify muna yung issue. Okay? So again, in analyzing a persuasive or argumentative text, first we should identify the issue. Ano ba yung topic? Ano yung issue? Ano yung problem? Okay? So when you read an article, it is important first to us to clarify the issue being debated. Hindi yung kung ano agad yung sinasabi natin without knowing first what is the issue. Baka mamaya yung sinasabi natin is not relevant or too far away, okay, to the exact topic. Okay, so when you're identifying the issue, phrasing something as a question can often help clearly state what is being argued over. Let's say, for example, should teens have the right to provide medical appointments? Okay, should sex education can be taught in elementary? Should weeds or marijuana be legalized? Okay, so there must be specific topic. Okay, so alamin nyo muna na kung ano yung pinaka-specific. Okay, para hindi tayo napupunta kung saan and also the supporting details pagdating sa body of the paragraph. Okay, ay coherent no, sa topic, hindi yung hindi na relevant. Again, first identify the issue kapag nag-analyze ng persuasive text. Second, no, after identifying the issue, identify the contention. Okay, so ano yung sabing contention? So when we say contention, it is simply another word for the POV, no, the point of view or opinion. Okay, in layman's term. Okay, so read the piece of persuasive writing carefully. Okay, what does the writer believe? Okay, starting a sentence with the word that, okay, can help you identify the writer's contention. Okay, ano ba yung point of view no, ng writer? Ano ba yung stand niya? Okay, ano yung kanyang claim regarding that particular topic? Okay, so the author is arguing, let's say for example, that marijuana should be legalized. Okay, of course, no, with that, with this statement, he is pro, okay, pro legalizing, no, that marijuana. So ganun din naman sa other issues, okay, when it comes to a text. Okay, so doon natin yung pakikita. Okay, identify natin kung ano yung opinion, contention, claim, or stand no, right, anong yan nung writer or nung text na binabasa natin. In extracting important information from a persuasive text, it is imperative or significant that readers must be analytical, that since the writer is subjective in his claim even after presenting a counterclaim. Okay, so readers must learn to figure out if the writer uses ethos, pathos, and logos in persuading. Okay, so kahit na meron pa tayong counterclaim na pinresent yung reader, sometimes hindi pa rin nagiging objective. Okay, sometimes subjective pa din yung opinion, okay, nung ating writer. Okay, so tayo bilang reader must learn to figure out kung ano yung ginamit ng writer. Okay, the writer uses ethos ba, pathos, logos, or ethos, pathos, and logos rather, yung tatlo, no, in persuading. Ano bang pinagkaiba ng tatlo? No, ethos, pathos, tsaka logos. Okay? So this one. Ethos is a way of convincing the readers that the writer is a credible source. Okay? So sa ethos natin, ang pinag-uusapan natin is the credibility, the expertise of a particular person. Okay? In order to convince someone. Okay? And then pag sinabi natin pathos, it is a way of connecting with the reader's emotion. Okay? The credibility, yung ethos, reader's emotion naman or emotion pagdating sa pathos. Pagdating naman sa logos, this uses facts, information, statistics, or other evidence not to make the argument more convincing. Okay? So ito yung ginagamit ng mga nagko-convince, ng mga nagpe-persuade. Ethos, pathos, tsaka logos. Okay? So let's put it in an example para mas maintindihan natin. Pag sinabing ethos, no? Ethos is an appeal to ethics, meaning it depends on credibility and expertise as persuasive techniques. Okay, let's say for example, for instance, as a dentist, I see this problem a lot. I recommend using a sensitive toothpaste. Okay, so the dentist is persuading you. Okay, paano ka mapapaniwala nun? Kasi dentist siya. That is the field of expertise niya. Okay, credible siya to say something like that. I recommend using a sensitive toothpaste kasi dentist siya. That is ethos. Okay? Kagaya rin ng isa pang to. He knows his dinosaur fossils. Okay, he knows his dinosaur fossils. He has been a leading paleontology researcher for 20 years. Okay, so look at the expertise, no? He has been a leading paleontology researcher for 20 years. No, paleontology is the study of the fossils. Okay, kaya mapapaniwala ka talaga at you should be persuaded because for 20 years, okay, leading paleontologist siya. Okay, that is ethos for the expertise. Pagdating naman dito sa pathos, emotion naman. Okay, ang ginagamit para ma-persuade. It creates an emotional response to convince the audience. If we don't adopt the puppy, he may never find a home. If you decide not to come for Thanksgiving, it would break your grandmother's heart. Okay? So they are using your emotions, okay, para ma-convince ka, okay, in doing something. So that is pathos. Okay? And then lastly, tinatawag nating logos. Okay? Appeal to logic. Okay? It depends on the logic, the facts to persuade the audience. Okay? Hindi sa expertise, hindi sa emotions, pero kung ano yung nandiyan i-data, kung ano yung information ready. Okay? People who eat chocolate are 72% happier than those who don't. So we should eat chocolate every day. Okay, so there is statistics given according to study yan. Okay, so that is logos. Okay, logic tsaka facts. If you do not turn in your homework, your grades will suffer. Okay, that is a logic. Kapag hindi ka talaga gumawa ng mga homework mo and other activities, of course, at the end, your grades will